Welcome back to another video, and I wanted to talk about the morning time, and linking it back into momentum about how we can achieve more of our goals using the morning. A lot of what we want requires momentum, you know? You want to do something every day, well, you've got to get started somehow. It's going to be hard to go from never going to the gym to doing 90 days in a row. No rest days. Or like doing the 75 hard after having never been to the gym before. It's going to be difficult. So we want to start with some momentum probably. Before you probably start the 75 hard, if you've never been to the gym, you'd maybe want to get a gym membership. Maybe go 3 times a week for a month. Just to get a feel for the gym so you know what you're doing in there. You know, now you've had like between 8 and 12 sessions, I want to say, if my math's right. You've had some momentum, you've got yourself some wins, you've been to the gym, and now you might feel more comfortable because you've got that momentum behind you of having been to the gym. Same thing, if you don't read a lot, you're also going to struggle with the 75 hard because it's 10 pages a day, and 10 pages isn't hard, but if you don't read and you suddenly have to go to doing reading every day, it's going to add some difficulty. So maybe you'd start off with, make sure you read a page a day and 2 pages a day, just to get yourself the momentum, to get yourself into the swing of things. And that's what the morning is there for. There's a famous quote that is, if you win the morning, you win the day. And it speaks levels to the power of momentum. The morning is, depending on when you wake up, anywhere between, let's say if you wake up at 8 o'clock, I wake up at 8 a.m. I know it's not crazy early. You were expecting me to say something like 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 6 a.m. No, I don't wake up that early. Maybe at one point or another, when I can, I will, and I would love to at some point, you know, enjoy them because I love the mornings. It's the way we win the day. But for now, I wake up at 8 o'clock. That gives me 4 hours. The morning is 4 hours. I have 4 hours to win the day. The easiest, so what I do is, there are a few things I know I've got to do every day that if I can do now, I've set myself up on a great trajectory. And even if I did nothing else outside of those 4 hours, but I did these things, the day's won. Go to the gym, because I'm trying to go more than just twice a week, like I've mentioned on the channel previously. And the videos for the channel. If I go to the gym and I get my videos recorded, and I do my 5 interactions a day, if I do them all in the 4 hours, my day's complete. The day is automatically won. Say I only did 2, so say I only did gym and not the interactions one, the one I said before that. So if I only did gym and the videos, if I only recorded my videos and went to the gym in the first 4 hours, while there's still more to do in the day, I've set myself up. I've got a couple wins under my belt. And that's giving me positive momentum. It's pushing me towards succeeding in other things. You succeed at one thing, you're going to be more likely to go after the next thing and succeed in that. And then once you've succeeded in 2 things, you're more likely to go after the next thing and then succeed in that. It's all about momentum. So I'll say it again, if you win the morning, you win the day. Comment down below, what's something you could do this morning, maybe tomorrow morning if it's not the morning anymore when you're watching this, that could set you up, push you into momentum, get the ball rolling for you to have an amazing day. Put it down in the comments. It's the same with, especially with social interaction, which is something I've been dabbling in more myself, trying to become a more social person. And I can tell you how important this whole momentum thing is. The first approach of any day is always the most difficult. Or it's usually the most difficult. Because I don't have any previous momentum from the same day. Yes, there may be momentum from having done it like 7 days in a row, making it easier. But it's the first of the day, so there's no daily momentum to help me keep going. So the first one usually is the most difficult. I tell you, the approach that was the hardest for me was my first ever one. I had no social interaction momentum whatsoever. No proof to tell myself, to reassure myself, go, you're fine, you've got this. And that's why it was so hard, that I didn't have the momentum. I hadn't got the ball rolling yet. So the first one was the most difficult. And from there on, they've been getting easier because I'm doing it more and more. The ball is in momentum constantly. I tell you that since that one, the hardest approach I've had to do, I think was yesterday or the day before. It will be within the last week by the time this video is up. I've done 4 approaches and my daily goal is 5, right? So I'd gone out, I said, you can't go back home until you've done 5 approaches. And this is the way I get myself to do it. I leave the house at some point, I tell myself, without 5 approaches, you don't get to go back through the home door. So I got to 4. And after the 4th one, something happened, and I don't know why, but I started getting in my head again. And it had been 2 minutes since my last approach, then 5 minutes, then 10. Then I think it had been 15. And I was out of like the momentum again. And I knew I just had to get that approach in. And that one was more difficult than all 4 that came before it, because I had lost the momentum that I was in. And so then I had to rebuild the momentum by just, you know, ripping off the plaster, ripping off the band-aid and just going for it. And that's how I got my last one in. It was just pure like willpower I was forcing myself into. Say I hadn't have waited as long though, it would have flowed off. It would have been easy flowing because I was just, you know, in social momentum. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. It's just that momentum is powerful. Once you start something, it becomes easier to keep going than it is to stop. Which is why addictions run rampage. Because, you know, once you start smoking weed, it's easier to keep smoking than it is to stop. Same with cigarettes, same with the porn addiction, same with alcohol, same with any other drugs. But that's why it's also easy to get addicted to stuff like work, you know? It's easier to keep going with your work than it is to stop. And that's how you just got to use these sort of like little brain like hacks that you can use from your own brain to do better, do more work, get more of what you wanted to get done. Get the ball rolling in positive areas. And yeah, and so on that note, with all that momentum chat, if you just get the ball rolling in the morning, the ball will roll throughout the day and you will win the whole day. And weeks are made up of days. So if you win 7 mornings in a row, you've won the week. Keep going, you win the month. So you do 30 mornings in a row, you've won the month. If you can keep going throughout every 12 months, it's just 365 mornings. You don't have to win. Don't think of it as I've got to win every 365 days in a row. Think about it as I've got to win 365 mornings. Because that's way more palatable to the mind. And you win the morning, you win the day. So, if you did find this helpful, leave a thumbs up. You want to see more, subscribe down below. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. I do appreciate if you do share the channel around. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers. And if you have anything to say, put it in the comments. If you did make it this far though, please do comment down below. Get the ball rolling. Or if you win the morning, you win the day. Just so anyone who doesn't get this far or didn't get to the part where I said it first sees in the comments at least. That's it from me from this one. That's it from me for this one. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in another video. Peace out.